Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? I thought I'd just pop in and check on you. I could, that's a thing. Yeah, but anyway, how are you doing? I can't believe my daughter was saying that February has been such a long month, and I'm thinking we're already halfway through, and I'm going, where did it go? It's kind of like my son. Last summer, they have this little go-kart, and he was driving it, and he blew a tire. And so my other son, went to town and got another tire. And I said, you blew a tire? I said, what the heck happened? He goes, well, I don't know. I just ran out of tire. Literally ran out of tire. Like no treads, no tire left, no nothing. But yeah. Couldn't say he blew a tire or, the tire went to crap. It was, I ran out of tire. And that's how, do you feel that way? Like you're just running out of time? Like I'm running out of tire. So I feel, I can't, it's like my friend sent me this thing about how you should take one mental day per week and just, downtime, don't do anything. And it's like, I'd have to add another day to the week. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. My daughter gave me this cool planner. It's a work from home planner. So you have 2 columns per day. And so one is a work column and one is a home column, which I just started it, so, but it seems really cool. But the problem is sometimes my work, so I don't do my actual work job. I don't put that on there because, that's a whole nother thing. But I put my Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. That's my work part and then my home part. But it's really hard because sometimes I'm like, I have all these things I need to get done. And I know I'm not going to get them done in one day. So then I put them off because it's so hard to get started. And then I don't get them done, and I'm, basically rewriting my to-do list over and over and over again every week. So I've just been putting like one thing on there per day to get done, like lip balm, and then I have another order with lotions and stuff that I have to get done. But it's so complicated, and then you have people all over. So then I was looking at my family room, which we don't use. We don't utilize it. It's got pinball machines. That's where I work now. My desk is in there. And then there's trampoline, there's toys, there's, it's like the extension of the entryway, if you want to say it like that. But I was looking at it and I'm like, we don't utilize this at all, right? And I'm just like, well, talking to my husband, I was like, well, maybe, maybe I could get my stuff out of the kitchen in the living room, and like move it there. And it's fine, but the problem is there's this other stuff that we can't just get rid of. Like the toys, where am I going to put those? I'm going to put a shelf in the living room and I'm going to put them in there so that when the grandkids come, they have that whole area to play. But that's a thought. So, in moving my stuff, maybe I can be more efficient because it's not constantly cleaning the counter off, my space, cleaning the counter off, getting it prepped, and then somebody walks by and puts their sandwich on it. Yeah, it's like, don't touch this stuff. If I got the counter cleaned off, that corner, my nice little octagon corner, it's like, don't touch it. But they don't listen, they're men. They just like to thwart me. But I don't know. That's my process. It's all about a time issue. Yeah, what do you do? I've asked you this before, but nobody ever tells me what their what their secret is. Don't fold clothes. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but anyway, today we are doing a whipped sugar scrub. I'll explain it in the video. It's too complicated for me to... But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. 3 things. Dream big. Be true to you. You are worth it. And let's go check out this whipped coffee sugar scrub. it's not really the base that is the important part here. You can start with any type of soap paste that you want. I think this is a 50-50. It's 50% sodium hydroxide and 50% potassium hydroxide. Okay? And then you just pick your oils and stuff and go from there. Now, the thing I am doing a little differently is I'm actually using coffee as my water content to dilute the paste. So it's just whatever that is, a little pint jar, 16 ounces, and a scoop of organic coffee. And the water is hot, and so I'm going to mix it and let it steep for maybe 5 minutes. Not very long, because it doesn't take much to get that, potent coffee smell. That's what I'm going for. So if I remember, I will put the recipe in the description box below. But basically, back into the crock pot, because I just made the paste in the crock pot, and weighed it out to make sure that, I had all I needed, or, my end result. And then, so we put soap paste in here. And once that is measured in, we are going to add some shea butter. I know this is a little odd. Some people put just oils or just glycerin, but you can actually do a lot with that. The one section for the glycerin, you can add some different things. And then we do add glycerin. I have found if I add too much shea butter to the coffee scrub, it actually really stiffens up at the end. And so, that is not, you don't want to add too much shea. You can do it if you're not making the coffee scrub, but for some reason, with the coffee scrub, it really makes it super thick, almost like a really hard emulsified one if you do that. This is stearic acid. Okay, we are adding it to the coffee scrub. So like a cream soap, like I said before, in the cream soap, the stearic acid gets saponified. When you do it this way, where we're just melting things together, it does not get saponified. So then it has a different use in this. Okay, it's got a different property. But okay, so once we get that all together, and then we add our coffee. I blanked out for just a minute there. I was like, what am I adding? Yes, our coffee. Make sure you strain it. And although in actuality, I don't know how that would work, but in whipping it, but I guess if you just did a thin strain and you had coffee grounds in there, it wouldn't matter because we're adding coffee grounds later anyway, right? So but anyway, just make sure you strain it and, do the thing. And then we're going to set it on a high heat so that we can melt that stearic acid for about a half an hour. I check it every 10 minutes to make sure I have no clumps. Okay? And then this is what it looks like when it's all melted down, and you mix it and you make sure there's no clumps in there. Okay? No clumps whatsoever, because you don't want that to do that. And then you stick it, I cool it, and then I stick it in the fridge overnight, or at least all afternoon, whichever one happens. And then you can put your bowl in the fridge, but I didn't have room, so my little crock pot went in the fridge, and then then my bowl. And you could chill your bowl in the freezer right before. It does help with the whipping. So to get everything prepped, we are adding sugar. Sugar, you can add 80 to 100%, whichever, wherever you have a good, comfortable feeling. This is organic, and it's kind of a finer sugar, just because with the coffee scrub, being the coffee grounds are in there, I can go with a finer sugar. Okay. The next thing is we're going to measure our preservative and the fragrance. Okay, 1% preservative, sorry, and 2 to 3% of your fragrance oil. Just depends on what your ratio is, right? It just depends on what your ratio is. But I was using cinnamon and sugar from Brambleberry. That is a really nice scent. Like I was really impressed with that. The notes are not like your typical cinnamon and sugar. And then we get to whipping it. Okay. You don't want to over whip it, which I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just when it falls flat. I don't know. Will this chunk up? Will this be stiff? Mine's always stiff till I add the sugar. So maybe my sugar isn't. Maybe I should chill it, like whip it, and then re-chill it, and then add the sugar. I don't know. But it always whips up really nice for me. I do it, I don't know how long. Not long. Not as long as I do my buttercream frosting. I just know that. I do stop a couple times, scrape the bowl just to make sure that I have everything and I don't have big chunks of non-whipped paste. We'll call it a paste, okay? And then back to whipping, there we go, whip it. Like I said, I do that a couple times, and then the next thing I add is my preservative and my fragrance oil, and I just whip it enough to incorporate it, and then I add my sugar. I think it's 5% of the batter is what I do. How come I don't have it written down? I think it's 5% coffee grounds. And then I'll make sure my recipe's correct in the description box. And then my sugar, which is about 80%. I guess I could go lower with it because it's a coffee sugar scrub, but I don't. And that's funny. I should just let it sit up, but I don't. See how it's kind of liquidy? When I let it set up overnight, it's a lot thicker, which is super weird, isn't it? But I like this consistency. It's big, it's whipped, it's creamy. I don't know what to say. If you put too much shea, you got to watch your shea ratio in here because shea will kill your lather a little bit. Okay? It will kill the lather. But in a coffee scrub, I'm going for the scrubby scrub, not the bubble. But anyway, here are the fragrance notes for this delightful sugar scrub. They are super yummy. Here is the sugar scrub in all its glory. And as always, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.